Straight ahead on Oregon's News at 10, police continue to investigate a shooting that happened on Bailey Lane yesterday. The latest on the case. And the two runaway girls from Coos Bay have been found where they were spotted. Plus, new numbers from the FBI shows violent crime is decreasing nationwide, but that's not the case in Oregon. More on the jump in crime. Oregon's News at 10 starts right now.
You're watching Oregon's News at 10 on Oregon's Fox.
The investigation continues tonight after the arrest of a 17-year-old in connection with a shooting near Monroe Middle School in Eugene yesterday. Good evening, and thank you for joining us for Oregon's News at 10. I'm Christine Goodwillie. It started with a shooting on the street outside Monroe Middle School on Tuesday morning. That led to lockouts at nearby schools and ended with SWAT activity near the U of O last night. It really was an all hands on deck. Many law enforcement teams came together to find the 17-year-old suspect, Mason Everett Wood. The shooting happened around 10 a.m. yesterday. The 17-year-old victim was shot and rushed to a local hospital. His condition is unknown, but physicians say police and bystander effects saved his life. Police say the incident was unrelated to the school. Around 6 on Tuesday night, the SWAT team and police responded near 14th and Mill Street near the University of Oregon campus in hopes of finding Mason Wood. According to Eugene police, Wood was not in the home in that area, but was later contacted by police, eventually agreeing to turn himself in at the Eugene Police Department. The Lane County DA's office is charging Wood as an adult in connection with yesterday's incident. An update on two girls from Coos Bay who ran away. 15-year-old Allison Copland and 12-year-old Jenna Young have been found and returned home safely to their families this morning. Jenna Young's father says he got a call from the Coos County Sheriff's Office around 4:15 a.m. He says he's glad to have his daughter back home.
One part's done, and now we get to figure out what's at the heart of the issue, and hopefully correct that and show these girls that they're loved and that we're just super glad that they're home.
Police say they found the girls after someone called about two girls walking south on Highway 101 before 4 o'clock in the morning. Young says he's interested in getting counseling for Jenna. And it's time now for our first look at that forecast. Let's hand it over to meteorologist Travis Knutson to see what's ahead. Travis.
Well, we have a warm one on the way tomorrow. Today was pretty warm, and it looks like Thursday might beat out today's temperatures by a couple of degrees. Here's a look at where those highs were across the state today. 94 degrees in Medford, Roseburg at 88 degrees. Even on the coast, warm there. 74 degrees in the North Bend, Coos Bay area. Low temperatures tonight should cool down into the upper 40s and lower 50s. The other side of the Cascades, a little chilly out there. Redmond at about 32, Burns maybe about 33 tonight. Highs tomorrow, mid-80s on the way for many spots. I think plenty of Douglas County should be in the 90-degree range tomorrow, but that's as warm as we get before the cool down arrives. I'll tell you how much of a hit our temperatures will see this weekend in my forecast coming up in just a bit.
President Donald Trump calls the sexual misconduct claims against his Supreme Court nominee, Judge Brett Kavanaugh, a big fat con job, insisting allegations against Kavanaugh are politically motivated. Andy Rose reports.
President Donald Trump held a rare news conference Wednesday, spending much of it defending his Supreme Court nominee, Judge Brett Kavanaugh, against sexual misconduct accusations.
These are all false to me. These are false accusations.
The president went on to compare himself to Kavanaugh, saying he has had to deal with something similar.
I've had a lot of false charges made against me. I'm a very famous person. People want fame, they want money, they want whatever. So when I see it, I view it differently than somebody sitting home watching television.
And more allegations revealed less than a day before what promises to be a dramatic hearing in front of the Senate Judiciary Committee. Kavanaugh has denied all allegations. Trump says he'll watch the testimony of Kavanaugh and his first accuser, Christine Blasey Ford, suggesting he could change his mind about her claim.
They're giving the women a major chance to speak. Now, it's possible I'll hear that and I'll say, hey, I'm changing my mind.
Trump also may be changing his mind about meeting with Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein Thursday, saying he would prefer Rosenstein keep his job. Rosenstein has denied he ever broached the idea to record Trump or thought about invoking the 25th Amendment.
I may call Rod tonight or tomorrow and ask for a little bit of a delay to the meeting because I don't want to do anything that gets in the way of this very important Supreme Court pick.
Ford is scheduled to testify before the Senate Judiciary Committee Thursday. I'm Andy Rose reporting.
Remain seated.
3 women are now accusing Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh of sexual assault. And Oregon Senator Jeff Merkley says the White House is keeping Congress from doing its job in the confirmation process. Now, Merkley's suing to stop the process until he has the information he needs. He says the president has conspired with key Senate Republicans to withhold documents about Kavanaugh's time as a White House lawyer. That was during George W. Bush's presidency. Merkley says the president is overstepping his powers by using executive privilege to block the release of documents.
Each one of us as senators took an oath of office to uphold the Constitution. We can't uphold our responsibility if we can't examine the record of the nominee.
The lawsuit seeks to stop the confirmation process until Kavanaugh's full record is publicly available. Republicans are pushing for a Friday vote. A warning tonight for parents of children who play online video games. Authorities say an increasing number of predators are using gaming platforms to lure children. One of the most common ways is through the popular video game Fortnite. The game has millions of players around the world, many of them children. Police say, as with any video game that connects you with other people online and has a chat function, there's a risk of being exploited.
Our colleagues out in New Jersey did a sting out there, and they discovered that there were a multitude of child predators who are using the video game Fortnite.
Officers say the most important thing parents can do to keep their kids safe is talk to them about internet security and be sure to ask questions and be involved in their online interactions. New numbers from the FBI show violent crime rose in Oregon last year despite a downward trend nationwide. The Bend Bulletin reports Oregon saw a more than 6% jump in violent crime in 2017. Nationwide, murders were down 0.7% and robberies were down 4%. Murders saw a slight decline in Oregon, but rapes were up 12%. A majority of reported crimes happened in urban areas. And federal officials say failing commercial salmon fisheries in Oregon, Washington, and California are now eligible for federal disaster assistance. The governors of those 3 states and several Native American tribes have requested the status between July of 2016 and March of this year. Their request noted unusually warm and poor ocean conditions that affected fish. The fisheries are now eligible for part of the $20 million in NOAA fishery disaster assistance. Oregon regulators are asking a judge to toss out a lawsuit over pollution regulations in Tillamook Bay. The Capitol Press reports the lawsuit from Oyster Company president Jesse Hayes claims that excessive fecal bacteria from dairies near Tillamook Bay have lowered or shut down harvests from his oyster beds. He wants stronger pollution laws, but the state says the regulations can only be challenged through an administrative process, and the deadline for an objection has passed. Oregon is now looking at boosting funding to fight water problems. The Statesman Journal reports the state would add another $1.2 million to help state agencies respond to toxic algae contaminations. This comes after the drinking water crisis in Salem that triggered water advisories in May and June. State lawmakers have recommended funding for new positions as the Oregon Health Authority, Department of Agriculture, and Department of Environmental Quality. Coming up on Oregon's News at 10, one Eugene woman shares her story of substance abuse and the program that helped her kick her addiction to the curb. That's after weather with Travis Knutson.
Temperatures outside this evening cool down a little bit from the warm Wednesday we had across the state of Oregon. Tomorrow, our Thursday, another warm one. In fact, it'll probably beat out today's temperatures by a couple degrees. But right now, 10 o'clock hour, still 65 degrees in Roseburg, 60 in Eugene. On the coast, dealing with some 50s there. Tonight's temperatures don't cool down a whole lot, and that gives us a warm head start to tomorrow. Things are very, very clear looking at the satellite and radar across the Pacific Northwest right now. Do notice, though, down to the southwest, we have a few clouds working their way closer to us. That is a storm system, or the storm system, which will bring us some cooler weather by the weekend, as well as an opportunity for a few raindrops as we wrap up this coming work week. But this coming weekend, until we get to the weekend, we have to deal with more of this high pressure center, keeping things very warm and dry by bringing in some warmer air from the south. But directly south of this high pressure center is that storm system. It's a slow mover because it's a cutoff low, basically meaning it's cut off from the main flow of moisture across the northern hemisphere, so it doesn't move very fast. It will eventually push its way into the Pacific Northwest, arriving as we get into the weekend, Saturday into Sunday, bringing with it some cooler, cloudier, and wetter weather to the region. That's still a few days off. The short term is more of this, which is clear skies overnight tonight. This is tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. We do have a marine layer offshore, but there's no westerly component to our wind to bring it inland. So on the coast, sunshine all day long. Inland area seeing a lot of sunshine as well. No rain. Very warm for our Thursday. The transition doesn't start happening until Friday and the weekend with that storm's arrival from the southwest. Now in the Cascades tomorrow, some middle 80s on the way. That is exceedingly warm for the mountains. Central Oregon, sunny over there, warm as well. Tonight, a little bit chilly though for the high desert. Bend at about 35 degrees. Redmond right around 32. The Willamette Valley will call tomorrow's temperatures above average. Undoubtedly, highs in the middle 80s. The average high for this time of year is about 74 degrees, so firmly above it. Light winds from the north, 5 to 10 miles per hour. The transition happens on Saturday. Friday into Saturday, a big drop off there. We start to see some of that cooler air move on by. Sunday, Monday could see some showers around the region. The odds fairly low at this point, so any rain that does show up will be very, very light in nature. On the coast, warm there for the coast, 69 in Yachats, Florence, about 67 degrees. The south coast dealing with some 70-degree heat tomorrow, 73 in the North Bend, Coos Bay area, or 75. Reedsport is seeing that temperature of 73 degrees. The extended forecast here, rain chances for the weekend, relatively low at this point, but the 60s you see, that is much more seasonable for this time of year. Here's a look at the Umpqua Valley forecast. Sunny once again tomorrow, above 90 degrees for essentially everyone. Overnight lows in the mid to low 50s. Here's a look at the extended forecast. Starting to cool down on Friday. Clouds arrive for the weekend, mid 70s with maybe a few showers Saturday night into Sunday morning. Next work week, clouds will stay with us. We'll still see the sunshine, but we won't be nearly as warm. Highs there in the mid to low 70s is much more seasonable for this time of year. We'll be right back.
We see stories about drug addiction all the time, and the issue is even more in focus after the rash of overdoses over the weekend. One woman is sharing her story about battling drugs and addiction and how she overcame those challenges. Christelle Kumwe reports.
As a child, Erica Swan says she was abused, abandoned, and rejected by many. She turned to drugs to numb the pain. As she got older, her addiction got worse.
It started with drinking and smoking marijuana, and then it just kind of escalated from there, experimenting with cocaine and then doing things like acid and ecstasy and things.
Erica got married at 20 and gave birth to her son in a rehab facility. She says she got off drugs and became clean and sober for 6 years, but then relapsed. She went through a divorce, her husband remarried, and got custody of their kids.
I had to watch another woman have my children and my husband and my family, and it was very difficult.
Swan lost everything important to her, along with any self-worth, until someone suggested she look into Teen Challenge, a Christian recovery center.
We really feel that we can do that by finding the heart issues of everyone, and they're the same. Universally, they need hope.
Director Charity Bray says they try to find the source of the emotional pain that causes the addiction.
There was still like this struggle inside of me with actually committing and, maybe even believing that that I could walk in recovery.
But Swan did commit and complete the one-year program. She's 2.5 years clean and is now a staff member with Teen Challenge helping others.
Recovery is possible. Freedom is possible. If you're just willing to give it a chance and an opportunity, it's possible.
Reporting in Eugene, I'm Christelle Kumwe.
Next on Oregon's News, one town between Eugene and Corvallis is making its mark in the housing market. That's after the break. A new housing development is in the works in a community between Eugene and Corvallis. Stephanie Rothman takes us to Monroe to learn about housing plans.
They are already advertising. They are already taking calls. We're taking calls at City Hall.
Interest is building for a new set of homes for Monroe residents.
The demand is there currently based upon the housing crunch that is in both Corvallis and Eugene. Monroe actually has the benefit of being exactly halfway between Corvallis and Eugene. So we're accessible to two different large housing markets.
A new housing development, Red Hills Estates, is moving in with 55 new homes to be constructed.
Drive 20 miles and pay $100,000 less for your house and have a nice place with rolling hills to live in, we think is a winning deal.
The project is divided into 2 phases with 34 lots built first and 21 lots created next year.
People like to move out of that busy area, out of the big city where the people are. We're seeing an uptick in development around there, even with businesses coming in and different things starting.
The homes are designed for small families looking for their first home.
The percentage of growth, the effect for our community, the opportunities it brings in the way of providing customers for our local businesses is pretty remarkable.
A new option for people looking for homes between Eugene and Corvallis. Reporting in Monroe, I'm Stephanie Rothman.
Disney's The Lion King, the award-winning Best Musical, is premiering at the Holt Center in January, and you won't want to miss it. Tickets go on sale next Monday, October 1st, but Oregon's Fox has a pair of tickets you can win before they go on sale. Just go to Oregon'sFox.com to sign up to win. We'll announce those winners, or that winner, Friday night during Oregon's News at 7 and 10. Don't miss Disney's The Lion King at the Holt Center, January 9th through the 20th with Oregon's Fox. Good luck. We'll be right back. Oh my God, this contest is crazy. Oh, finally tonight, do you have a fear of confined spaces? Do amusement parks and roller coasters make you nervous? If you answered yes, Six Flags St. Louis has a frightening Halloween contest made just for you. This is crazy. I was reading about it earlier. It's called the 30-Hour Coffin Challenge. 6 contestants will be chosen for the contest, and you have to stay in your coffin from 1 p.m. on October 13th to 7 p.m. the following day. I can't do that. That's insane. If you win, you get $300 in a prize package that includes season passes. I never thought that I was afraid of confined spaces, but just reading that scares me.
Yeah, do they bury you underground? Doesn't say.
It does. No, I mean, I feel like that would be illegal. You
no, if there's some air coming through.
I'm getting like stressed out just thinking about that. That's crazy. All right, have a good night.